West Coast Trail is a 75-kilometer, or approximately 47-mile hiking trail on the west coast of Vancouver Island. This trail consistently ranks as one of the world's best hiking trails, and as a result, one that I have wanted to do for many years. My first attempt at this trail occurred in 2020. However, due to pandemic precautions, the border between the United States and Canada was closed and my permit was canceled. In 2021, armed with a new permit, the border remained closed and I had to cancel my permit. So now, in 2022, armed with my permit, a hiking partner, and at this point a well-dialed-in plan, we began the West Coast Trail. Good morning. So, this is day one on the West Coast Trail. Yesterday, Leanne and I met at my house at 5 in the morning. Spent 2 hours driving up to Port Angeles and caught the Black Ball ferry. So we got over to Victoria. We drove another 2 hours out here to Port Renfrew, which is an amazing little town catering to trail and hunters and fishermen, sport outdoor people. We did our orientation at 2 o'clock, ate a good lunch and a good dinner here, and set everything out, set everything up, checked all our equipment, and settled down for a good night's sleep. Today is Monday, July 11th. It's about 7:30 in the morning. We've just gotten up, packed up the last of our stuff. We're gonna head over to the little cafe that's across the street and get some breakfast and something for a lunch. At 9 o'clock we get picked up by the trail bus, which drives us from where we drop our car off, just up the road a little bit. Gordon River Campground. I'll drive us up to Pachia Bay. We'll get there at about 12:45, and we already are checked in and have our permits, so we can start hiking. Until later. Alright, first steps on the West Coast Trail. We've been dropped off at the parking lot. There are two options. One is immediately take the ladder and go over this headland and drop right back down at that beach right there, or take the beach. Water level is just a hair high, so this may be the first major routing mistake of the trip. Won't be the last, but we're gonna see how bad it is. First steps. It's about 1:30. Got about 4 to 5 hours to make it to camp. All right. Well, because of the route we took, I guess that qualifies as the first ladder on the trail for us. Perhaps slightly underwhelming, but I'm sure there will be plenty to come. For the people who commented that the bugs weren't really an issue, things have changed. The mosquitoes are definitely out, and they are definitely annoying. This is Bridge 12. It's about 4 in the afternoon. We started at about 1:52. We're at about kilometer 6-ish, maybe a little further.
And we've got another 6 to do, so we should roll into camp right around 6 o'clock. First day on the trail has been warm. The trail's quite good, occasional pockets of mud, but very nice. And we're having a blast. This is our first real ladder going down. Bridge 14. This is Sea Lion Rock at approximately kilometer 9, 9.5. Alright, there's the lighthouse, whose grounds we're not allowed to go to due to COVID protocol. And bear-in area signs.
Good morning. It is day 2 on the West Coast Trail. In the morning, about 6 a.m. Yesterday was a really good hike in. We got to the lighthouse at kilometer 10. Really just moving quite nicely. Started 1:45 got to the lighthouse 4:30. Saw Sea Lion Rock, which was really cool haul out point. And then the last 2 kilometers from 10 to 12, and 12 is Michigan Beach, which is where I'm at right now. It got muddy, got a little bit steeper. All the mud was in the trail.
there wasn't much you could do about it either, so it's just kind of a slog. But we got into camp at about 6:30, so about 4.5 hours of hiking. Ate dinner, sat on the beach for a while. Apparently I can connect to American cell phone towers, so I had 4 bars and 5G, but since I'm using my camera for all my photos and video, I'm definitely using more battery than I anticipated. This morning, we're going to get up here. I've already had breakfast. Leanne, I think, is just starting to get up. We're going to do everything we need to do this morning and get going. The first several kilometers are all at a certain below 2.7 meters. We're well below that. Low tide is 0 at about 8 a.m. right now. We do a little bit of headland, overland, and then we drop back down. There's a second section that's 2.7, I believe. And that basically ends when we get to camp. So that section, between about noon and 2, the tide may be up for the secondary high. We may end up taking a long lunch, wait it out, see how it goes. Here's the beach where we're at. So, got campers down. Huge rock shelf, sandstone. You can see where the high tide was. Campers over there, and we're up there in the trees. I think probably due to mosquitoes, we'll probably try and camp on the beach tonight. But it's been good. Enjoying it. My muscles are doing well. Of course, tired and a little stiff, but see how it goes. Till later. This is the boiler of the steamship Michigan. It crashed here, hence the name Michigan Beach. Here we are at Orange Juice Creek. Little sea cave, some people camp under. Debris of some ships. Have to figure out what it is exactly. Okay, so we have to end up there. There's a cliff face that way. And we think it's this way. Let's see if we're right. First actual tall ladder for us. Okay, simple answer is we were wrong. We had to go back to the Guardian station and then up that giant ladder. There's the top, or where we were. And this is a bouncy suspension bridge, which certainly makes me nervous. But oh my God, that's a beautiful canyon. Leanne ascending the staircase. And then we're gonna go up this one. Okay, Leanne and I on the first cable car. Ready?
All our things.
Got all our things, Lego. Now we have to pull. So hold on. Okay, we've braced ourselves. I'm actually gonna turn this off.
First we have some water.
All right, first cable car crossing complete. Last half to third is a bear as you're pulling yourself uphill. But quite the adventure. Apparently now I got ladders, but quite the adventure. All right, that's where we're going. Those buoys in the trees. That is Kelowna Falls, where we're going to be camping for the night. It's about 3 o'clock, so we made great time. Okay, apparently that's Susiat Falls. We're just past that. We've gone up a steep, muddy hill, somewhat similar to what we did yesterday. We're now on this boardwalk. Apparently we have to go up and around to drop back down to get to the campground. We're definitely tired. It's been a long day. We're starting to get into the heat of the day. And we're ready to get into camp. You know, lovely. All right, well, this is how we've been picking our way through this kind of crap. I don't have my poles on me at the moment, so my third leg is... Oh, crap. And that just rolled under my foot. I didn't get too dirty. Alright, that is probably the tallest slope we've crawled up, or down in this case, but luckily multiple ladders, multiple platforms makes things a lot easier. Still got a little bit to go. Okay, here we are at camp, day 2. Tesuit, however you pronounce it, Falls. Another great hike. Again, the last 2 kilometers just about killed us. Lots of mud, but we're in good spirits. Tomorrow is our long day. We'll see how things go then, but beautiful area. All right, it is 7:20 in the morning. We are just leaving Susit Falls. Today is the long day, 10-mile minimum. And to be fair, based on the way we're feeling, it's just going to be 10 miles, period. Crab Shack for lunch. We go through Sea Arch, which should be a good day. We're up early, had some great. My camping mates around us, all very nice, pleasant people. And it's pretty low tide. I haven't even checked, but I know it's not low tide till like 8 o'clock. And that's what we've got. So let's see here. And there is where we're going first. So, till later. Alright, here we are, first break of the day. Not much further along than the sea arch, but a very nice little point. And a nice place to sit and relax. Kilometer to what? Well, if we're at kilometer 29, kilometer 30 is the cabins. are on our way to the Crab Shack. We have less than 2.5 kilometers to go. Just one of the many high headlands that you cross over. Just beautiful today with the marine layer. It's keeping the sun down and the temperatures down. Really quite pleasant to hike in. Alright, we've made it to Nit Nat Narrows.
Here comes the ferry.
There is the ferry, and just behind that is the Crab Shack.
Here comes the ferry.
It's very cool. Cool. Just finished lunch in the Narrows at the Crab Shack. It was absolutely amazing. Even though I don't particularly care for crab, I had the halibut, loaded baked potato, and some chocolate chip cookies. It was amazing. Almost everybody we camped with last night ended up showing up just a little bit after us, and we finished eating, and we're gonna hit the bathroom real quick, and then we've got another 4 odd hours. Got some good viewpoints. Given some information on where to look for some petroglyphs in one of the anchors. Should be great. Gonna be a good day. This is the anchor of the ship, the Skagit. We are about 3 miles from camp. Alright, we are at the Chiwat River. There's no camping between kilometers 36 and 38 as of 2012 because of some type of grass recovery. All right. One of the best bridges across the river on the trail. Okay, we have made it just past kilometer 36. There's the old camping spot that's been closed since, well, for a decade now. More people headed to Cribs. We are about, well, we have to get to 41.5 and we're at just past 36. So 5 kilometers to go today. Beautiful beach. And yeah, weather's holding out. It's a little windy. Crab Shack was amazing. And yeah, that's it for now. Okay, we are at Dare Beach. We've got maybe 2 kilometers to go. It's been a long day. Navigation's been a little bit challenging. Lots of decisions to make about inland route, beach route, tide access. Everything I have says that this beach shouldn't even be accessible through certain sections, and yet having dinner at Cribs Creek. Got everything set up. It's been a really long day. We've hiked probably well in excess of 10 miles based on all available data. And tomorrow the miles get shorter, but the terrain probably gets harder. But it's been good. Actually camped back in the trees, which is pretty nice. At least I like it. Anyway, that's it for now. Good morning. It is day 4. We're at Cribs Creek. packing up, getting ready to go. Today the route is almost entirely along the beach. We've got a upland section around one of the lighthouses, Carmina Lighthouse. And then at the end of the day, we need to make a decision whether we're going to go upland and take a cable car, a second one, and then drop down to Walbren, or if we're going to walk along the beach and then ford the river. And I think that'll be dependent on the weather and how we're feeling. But should be a good day. This was our campsite last night in the woods near the bear canister. Bathrooms are over there. I had got a great night's sleep, which I truly appreciated. And yeah, we're gonna head out. Okay, here we are at Cribbs Creek. It is an interesting campsite. We're on the tidal flat, but it is protected by this massive sloped sandstone conglomerate ridge that protects this. So it's a very slow fill. And you have everybody along the beach. We were just tucked back behind those trees, and you have the creek over there. But we are going south through there along the beach. Beautiful sandy beach. This is amazing. Here we have Mary and whose name I can't remember. Alright, this is beach access A, just below Carmina Lighthouse. You have to either go up here or go around a little further where the rocks are quote-unquote slippery and then climb up a ladder there. Either or. Okay, Carmina Lighthouse. Just went from beach to whatever elevation we are. It's 100 some feet. Man, that is 2 sets of ladders, 2 sets of stairs. Quite the walk. Very pretty spot. crossing Carmina Lighthouse through the upland section, and this is the last ladder down to the beach. And here we are at once, many years ago, used to be known as Chez Monique's, where you could get a burger, and now is known as Night Home. Alright, here we are at Carmina Camp, which is just that way. Beautiful river. There's a cable car crossing. The river's down real low, so you can just wade across, or ankle deep across, or you can hop on some rocks like I did. There's a really nice little siltstone, sandstone cliff that's eroding. Yeah, took a nice break. Got maybe 4.5 miles to go for the day, basically. It's gonna be a real pleasant day. Okay, this is Bonilla Point campground, which we're not staying at, but Privy, beautiful waterfall, which would probably be, again, amazing to stand under. We just actually ran into the people that we camped next to at Port Renfrew. It was awesome to see people that we recognize coming from the other way, but they are motoring on. Let's see if we can steady this just a little bit. There is the waterfall. Moving great. Beach is super easy. It's getting into a little bit of coarse sand, which is a little bit, can be boggy, but a lot of places there'll be some little crust or a firmer area, so you're not digging in nearly as much as most people seem to. There is Washington right there in the background. A mile or so outside of Walburn, we're technically in an area of beach that is considered impassable above 2.7 meters. High tide is around 1 o'clock at 3.1. Stays above 2.7 until somewhere around 2. It's got to be getting pretty close to 1. Everything's been just a hair conservative, which is good. I mean, we're only walking a couple of, less than 6 inches, I'd say, above the current water level. We're moving to get past it, trying to get up to the beach. We'll get into Walburn a bit early, which will be fantastic. Set up, maybe take a dip in the river. Just been just about a perfect day. Strap them over your neck?
No, unclip my water.
Oh, unclip. Hold on, let me. Okay, Walbren Creek water crossing. Got my water shoes on, tide's coming in. So gotta do this kind of quick. This is basically the last ford. Oh, this is cold, but man, does it feel good on my feet. So it is about 5 minutes to 1. High tide wasn't till 1. So we made it through that section. Honestly, gonna take a late lunch, set up camp, and this was the easiest day probably in our entire trek. So we're gonna set up and enjoy it. Okay, so here we are at wherever the heck we are.
Walburn.
Walburn, thank you. Walburn Creek. Well, we got here by like 1:15. Decided it wasn't worth the effort to go any further. So now we have camp set up, a tarp set up. We're in the shade. We're gonna go into dip in the river a little later. And we're just relaxing and recovering. And enjoying the day. Yep, you can see Washington right across the way. Tomorrow's gonna be a lot more in the woods. Good morning, day 5, leaving Walbran River Camp. I was packing up. It is all inland today, no beach. This is the last of the beach we will see except from a viewpoint. Slept pretty well. Pack's getting lighter, legs are getting stronger. I am in shorts because today is mud and ladder day. I would say right there, yeah. So it is going to be a leg day and a muddy day, and we'll get through it, and it'll be beautiful and amazing. And there probably won't be a whole lot of videoing or photos today. All right, so apparently this is probably what we're going to be going through today, this type of stuff. We have a tree here, but I have a feeling that it's not going to always be this easy. Mud awaits. Okay, here is the big suspension bridge over everything. I am very nervous. I don't like this. But But hey, this is an incredibly secure and stable bridge. And I'm just gonna concentrate on the center path. Maybe flip my camera one side to the other, but nope. Everything about this just nope. I know it's probably beautiful, probably a long ways down. I'm speeding up because I'm nervous. There used to be huge bridges down and huge bridges up through here. Fantastic that they got wiped out and they had to build this suspension bridge. We're about 2 hours out of Colite, which may be our area of our lunch stop. We may not need to go down to the beach, but we've heard conflicting reports. It's definitely rained enough to wearing my rain jacket. Just moving on, slow and steady through broken terrain. Lots of logs just across low spots we walk on. Boardwalks that are in better and worse repair. Big muddy patches that we just kind of have to navigate, sort of like what's coming up right here. This one's in good shape, but you never know whether when you step down you're gonna sink. A lot of walking on roots. Anyway, here's another good example of take the ravine or take the log. Just depends on your sense of balance and comfort level. Thankfully, I have a sense of balance. Here comes Leanne behind me. Okay, we are almost to Colite Camp, which isn't, it's just about halfway point. To get down, you have to go down 7 ladders. That ladder had 31 rungs. Then you go across a cable car or jump across the creek. And then you go up 7 more staircases to get to the top. I am now in my rain skirt to keep my pants a little drier. We're doing great. But oh man, these are something else. Running Creek. A nice little footbridge. It's been raining all afternoon. We just found a nice dry spot to have lunch. Up the hill. Beautiful.
Due to the continuous rainfall, we didn't take much video or photos the rest of the day. We made it into Campers Bay in the early afternoon, set up our tent, and met with the other hikers coming from both directions along the trail. A bonfire was built, and we spent the remainder of the evening drying our clothes, making food, and getting to know our fellow hikers. The camaraderie along this trail is truly amazing. Stories were shared about our adventures, and information was passed about the trail ahead and what we had experienced for those traveling the other direction.
Morning. It is Saturday the 16th. It's our last full day. Okay, here we are at Campers Bay. It's just this little beach area. There's a guardian cabin. We met some great people here, built a fire. It was wet yesterday, lots of rain. From about 8 a.m. to sometime last night. I managed to keep from falling in any mud pits, but everything got wet. My fingers were so pruny in my gloves that I couldn't even use the touchscreen on my phone. So very few photos, very little video, but a lot of head down, watching, picking your steps, stepping on roots to rocks, to stumps, to roots, avoiding the mud. This is either the first or second campground, depending on your schedule. It's small, it's not fantastic, but the people here really made it worthwhile. So we're gonna get out of here soon. It's a little after 6, so we've got till 9:40 for low tide, but it's only supposed to take us 3 hours. And then we have 2 more hours to get to Thrasher's Cove. We have to be there by 2:30. That's when we're tidally blocked. So it should all be good. It's been a great hike. Truly amazing scenery. And yeah, on we go. Okay, we have made it from our camp to Beach Access A. Got about 2 kilometers to Owen Point. Tide is still falling. Everything's looking good. Alright, here's the rock shelf on the way to Owen Point. We got a couple of kilometers. Leanne has slid down the hill, and then she slid on one of these little pop-up boulders. So she's bashed up her knee pretty good. Not feeling too chipper. We'll get there. We'll get it done. I know she's more concerned about the tides than I am. We got like 6 hours, so anyway, probably on to Owen Point. Here we are at Owen Point. Well, a surge channel directly at Owen Point. This might be the 1.8 is necessary, but doing great. All right, we are at Owen Point. This is Owen Rock, the bald eagle, the sea lions. We made it. It is almost exactly 0. And we had to be below 1.8 meters. So we have, it is 9:37. We made it with 2 minutes to spare. Now we're gonna go find the sea caves. Just got done with Owen Point. It was a beautiful sea arch cave system. We are now in, I'm not sure if this is officially the boulder field or not, but we're certainly getting into it. The rock that we're walking over is, this is actually different than anything else we've seen on the trail. Very pretty quartz seamed, mostly shale stone, but then you have these big boulders of metamorphosed green whack. Oh, good lord. Yeah, so this is the next 2 hours. So it is 11:30. We are at Quarter Tide Rocks, about 2/3 of the way between Owen Point and Thrasher's Cove. So we've got 3 more hours before we absolutely have to be off. doing really well, making consistent progress, and it's a lot of really big rocks that we're climbing over and around. These don't really do it justice. It's more those size ones, and then sometimes they get really slippery, so we've all almost spilled several times. Anyway, we should be in camp, I think, in another 45 minutes to an hour. So we arrived here at Thrasher's Cove at about 1 o'clock, and here's the main part of the beach. The bathroom's down there, the bear canisters, and we found a little area, actually kind of a big area, up in the trees back here. We're just waiting for the end of the day. Gonna have dinner and we will bed down for the night. Tomorrow morning we will get up, have breakfast, and hike the last 3.1 miles or so. A lot of uphill, but then yeah, on the ferry, and we'll start driving home. It's been an amazing trip. So happy I finally got to do this, but yeah, it was good. All right, last morning. We got 6 kilometers to go, one giant set of ladders, one last ladder down, and burgers and Port Renfrew. Leanne's knee is stiff, but seems doable. One last set of bad ladders though. It's been a phenomenal trip. It's gonna be a little bittersweet going home. Alright, we just passed the intersection between the main trail and the cutoff to Thrasher's Cove. So, according to the signs, it's a kilometer to Thrasher's Cove. According to Leanne's GPS, it's more like a mile, maybe even more. Personally, I think that thing doesn't read very well in doesn't read very well in the hills, and taking into account the ladders and all. But according to the sign, we are 5 kilometers from the end, and who knows, maybe it'll be closer to 4 miles instead of 3.1. We're almost there. It's 8:45, and yeah, knees are stiff. Log climbing up from Thrasher's Cove. Leanne's knee is stiff. She was given a wrap for her knee from one of the other people that we were effectively been hiking with, Mary. And yeah, that's been good. It has been tough, it has been enjoyable, and it has been rewarding. So, yeah. A lot of up and down, a lot of stepping up and down, but amazing views, amazing woods. So here's the valley, 2 thrashers. Here's the valley, here's a camping spot. Apparently this is the way the new trail is being routed. You find these piles of lumber everywhere. But there's Bridge 102, all busted up. So every year things get taken out, but there's a good example. Beautiful rock cliff, beautiful creek, completely obliterated crossing. So we'll probably have a log or some narrow spot to jump over. Anyway, on to the end. Sometimes route finding is a little interesting. Here, there's a trail headed the other way. This one's marked with ribbons. Seems to make sense because that's where the bridge was. And this muddy track, but like I said, past that little camp spot right there, there was a trail headed sort of down. So, you know, much down would have been nice. This is our route. Here we are, probably the highest point on the trail. Oh, sorry. Lots of logging artifacts, mostly at this point. Rope, or cable. There's that couple of 55-gallon drums. That one was used for a small art installation. And probably the highest point on the trail as well. I know we're supposed to be getting to here any moment, so it seems a likely candidate. Somewhere up here, eventually, there is a derelict steam donkey. But, yeah, typical Pacific Northwest trail. A little bit of mud, a little bit of rock, but a lot of forest floor. And okay, we've made it to the steam donkey. Hard to imagine that they'll drag this up through here. Oh my God, it is the end. Here is the last ladder. The last ladder. The steepest ladder. All right. Last ladder, number 75. It's the tallest and the steepest. Here's Leanne coming down. It's been 7 days. It's been an amazing adventure. And that burger's gonna taste good. We have completed the West Coast Trail and we are headed back to Port Renfrew. Second ferry crossing. It is beautiful out here. This is a trip I am not going to be forgetting. Last little walk back to checking out. Dropped off. Done. Burger, time to go home. This has been quite the trip. Nice. Yeah.
Oh, further out.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. There's a whole
There's
pod.
a whole big pod.